I divorced my husband for not wiping his butt. I met Jake when we were both 23 and working at this call center downtown. He seemed normal enough, funny, decent job, had his own apartment. We dated for 2 years before moving in together, and honestly, everything was fine until I started noticing these weird things. First, it was the smell. Not like normal body odor, but this weird, musty, gross smell that would follow him around sometimes. I thought maybe he was just sweating more at work or something. Then I started noticing brown stains on our white sheets, and I'm like, what the hell is this? When I asked him about it, he just shrugged and said maybe it was from his work clothes. But then one day I'm doing laundry, and I pick up his underwear, and I swear to God it looked like he had an accident in them. Every single pair. I'm talking full-on skid marks that looked like he wiped a chocolate bar across the fabric. I was so confused, because this is a grown man we're talking about. So I finally confronted him about it and asked him straight up what was going on. He got all defensive and said that's just how guys are and I was being dramatic. I told him that no, that's not normal, and asked when the last time he actually wiped properly after using the bathroom was. This man looked me dead in the eye and said he doesn't really do that because it's gross and his mom never taught him to wipe thoroughly. I'm standing there like, are you actually serious right now? He said he just does a quick dab and that should be enough. I tried to explain to him why this was a problem, but he kept saying I was overreacting and making a big deal out of nothing. He said if it bothered me so much, then I could just wash his underwear separately. I told him that wasn't the point and that basic hygiene was important, especially since we were intimate. For the next few weeks, I kept bringing it up and even bought him flushable wipes thinking maybe that would help. But every time I'd find the same nasty underwear in the hamper. One time I even drew him a diagram showing proper wiping technique and he laughed at me and said I was being ridiculous. The final straw was when we went to his sister's house for dinner and I overheard her making jokes to her husband about how Jake had always been gross about bathroom stuff even as a kid. She said their mom used to have to remind him constantly to wipe and he'd throw fits about it. I realized this wasn't something new, but a lifelong habit he had no intention of changing. That night I told him we needed to talk and I explained that this was affecting our relationship in ways he probably didn't understand. The smell was making me not want to be close to him physically, and I was embarrassed to have friends over because sometimes you could smell it when he walked by. He told me I was being shallow, and that if I really loved him, I wouldn't care about something so stupid. He said he wasn't going to change how he did things just because I was being picky. That's when I realized he genuinely didn't see this as a problem, and wasn't going to make any effort to fix it. I gave him one last chance and said if he could just try to be more thorough for like a week, I'd drop it completely. But the very next day, I found the same gross underwear, and that was it for me. I told him I was moving out and we needed to separate. He actually had the nerve to tell people that I left him over something trivial and made me sound crazy. But when I explained the full situation to my friends, they were all like, oh, that's disgusting. How did you put up with that for so long? The divorce was finalized 6 months later, and honestly, I have zero regrets.